Good morning and welcome back to Vaderstad on the farm. A damp Monday morning. We've certainly had a bit of rain this weekend, which has put a stop to harvest. At Melton we've had about 36 mil of rain in total over the weekend, and here at Risby about 31. So yeah, well it's put play to combining for a day or two anyway, because it gives more showers. But yeah, thank you very much for everybody who subscribed last week, much appreciated. Please keep on subscribing because it's free and it does really help the channel. Yeah, in last week's video I did slip up on the rape yields, because I did say 4 tonnes an acre, which if anybody had picked up on it, I meant that was 4 tonnes a hectare, which it equates to about 1.5 tonnes an acre, so approximately. So yeah, I'd just like to apologise for that. But apart from that, yeah, hopefully we're going to get going again later this week. And yeah, I've got a bit of footage at the beginning of the video of us cutting the last of the oilseed rape. We managed to get that finished before it rained. And then we've had a demo of a top down, which is in this week's video. So yeah, hope you enjoy it, and hopefully we'll see you at the end. Field of oilseed rape. Nearly got it with some rain in the morning, but anyway, it's dried up this afternoon. It's allowing us to get cutting again, so yeah, it's going well. Spent sample. Just arrived at Melton Road. We're going to get some wood chipped down to the country park. I haven't been for a long time, but obviously they don't have the heating on. It's only for hot water, but they need refilling. But anyway, we're going to get this shed emptied. They're interlocking here. So get that all on the trailer and taken down to them. Hopefully we'll soon get using the tree shear a bit. Cut some branches off when it gets another month or so. A bit of work for that to do. Yeah, with a bit of luck, yeah, hopefully it'll maybe all fit on that trailer. We'll see. We've got the biggest trailer, the one we're on hire from GCS, so yeah, we're giving it all the best. We've brought our little trailer. I don't think it would be on, but we'll see anyway. Look a bit tight. It's a bit tight, it's showing. John's doing his best. He'll get it. Get a pat down, John. That bit left, that'll go in the bucket. Well, we're only off down farm tracks, so it doesn't matter, it's piled up like that. We shan't do any damage. It'll not blow off anywhere. That's the only bit we couldn't fit on. John's done a cracking job, haven't you, John?
Yep.
Yeah, look at that. You can't see one there. Spot on. I think they need some. I've maybe shown you this before on the video, but yeah. That coil, tip on top of that, and then these are real big springs, and they wrap around the drum. So then as it turns, that turns steady, and it flicks it into the auger trough here. Then that auger trough takes it into the boiler, which is the other side of that wall there. But yeah, we're going to get this filled up now. Yeah, John's just shoving it all in. Then we'll go get another load from a different place, fill it up. You get about 2-3 trail load in here when it's empty, but we haven't quite got as much as that to go in. But anyway, it'll keep them going for now till we get some more ordered. Peacock crossing, beware, not just small children, it's birds as well. Well, time of year's come, taking the row crops off. We're going to get the sprayer ones changed first. We've bought a new jack. It's a very high lift and it will lift the sprayer off the ground, so yeah, make it safer. But yeah, get these big wheels back on, it'll look smart then, so will the tractor. Yeah, we've got a wheel changer, invaluable. It makes the job a lot safer and a lot easier. Being able to jack it onto that, rotate it, plus we don't scratch the paint on the hub much, but yeah, looking good. We're getting there. Got the sprayer done, and it's white tyres now. Just the rear ones to do when we've got these front ones done. Right, so we've got the jack under now, so I think it's loose, so that should. Let's pull that off. There we go. Yep, just pull that out, cradle around. It does make handling these big wheels safe and easy. And we're going to transport it to where we want it, down the side here. John's steering. Up to the others before we get them secured to the wall. Yeah, wheels all changed. Looks a lot better now than them wider ones. Definitely. Looks more of a tractor now on the sprayer. Well, we're just having some more mushroom compost delivered by Northern Straw. They're pushing it out the back. It's going onto this field. Get spread and incorporated in, let the crops grow. But yeah, it's that dry. Laurie's got back on the field. Yeah, I got Marshy just checking the sprayer over. Small fault with it, nothing serious, but yeah, all go. Well, we've started land work. George has started SLD in some pealand, but we're having a bit of a trial rather at the minute. Yeah, we've got a set of tungsten points on this leg to see the wear difference against a standard wing on that one. So that's the tungsten wing, that's the standard wing, and then we've got a hard-faced one, Duramax or something like that, special from Spalding's. And then of course we always run these tips on with the tungsten tips, which make a hell of a difference on wear. So yeah, we're just doing a bit of a trial and see which one wears, how long the wear. But I mean, obviously that's expensive, so you'd expect that one is going to last. You'd think so anyway, but we shall see. It's only done about 10 hectares up to now. so you can't really tell any difference, but yeah, we'll keep an eye on it, and I'll let you know what happens. But it's hard. George assures me it's tough. It's dry, obviously. George is here incorporating the sewerage sludge, what's been spread by Tag Agri from the stockpiles that were put it into the corner of the fields in the spring. This is going on to some XP stubble, and under the terms and conditions of having it applied, it has to be incorporated within 24 hours. So George is trying to keep tight behind the spreaders. The spreading of the sewerage sludge is well regulated onto agricultural land, so much so that a full soil analysis has to be done before it can be deemed safe to apply, and also a spreading permit has to be applied for before it is spread. The spreaders are using our existing tram lines and are spreading the sludge out to 36 metres at an application rate of 21 tonnes per hectare. If you remember back to Lammer, we had a look round this implement. It's a Vaderstad Topdown, and I said back then it's got e-services on it, and I said back then we was going to demo it. So yeah, we've got one here from P&B's, Topdown 500, and it's got e-services on it, which means you can adjust from an in-cab box all the different depths of the elements on it to suit how hard the ground is in various places, and it memorises where it goes in different places. You can map the fields and store it, and then yeah, it's getting a bit technical now, cultivations, but I think it's the way ahead. Only work where it's needed. So yeah, got packer roller at the back, double packer roller, and we've got some discs to level it up. Maybe what shouts out the front, really. Yeah. So we've got your two discs, sets of discs which chop and mix the straw or stubble or whatever, and you've got these auto reset legs on it with deep working points, and they can work deep, good trips on them. And then these little fingers at the back what flick and level it up, just spin round to keep it level, and then a double packer roller at the back. But anyway, George is going to try it on the Challenger. It's on the 939 because we've just fetched it, but he's going to try it on the Challenger. We'll see how it goes.
So what we've got here is a specially designed point. So at the moment we've got 80s on it, yeah? 80mm points. And so these are designed for mixing. As you can see, look, the radius is changing. That isn't a perfect circle. As the radius changes the radius, and it means that the floor of material starts to break because the radius tightens. So what we're doing with this is basically we're mixing biomass in that material. Now, our biomass is here. We've got a lot of like a chopped oilseed rape, but we can put this on whereby we have low disturbance, whereby the soil only flows around it, but in this case with the 80mm point, it's coming up and it's going to roll forward. So when we get up to 12-14k, we're going to not actually be able to see these. It's going to be absolutely like it almost looks like a fountain when it's going, which is amazing. when we set the machine up, we look at our front tine and we look at our back tine. She's looking a bit nose down, so we need to adjust it, but you can clearly see that this tine's running at a different depth to that one. So we've got an option. We think about the fence post analogy with a top down. Let's go behind the machine briefly. Look. If we look behind it, we want to, whatever working depth we've got, we're not really set up properly yet, but we want to be able to look at where life starts and where it finishes. So sometimes when we look at a field, we get through the stone. Not a stone. So we ain't got a real lot of biomass in here. If we had a lot of chopped straw, we would start to see it. But what we'll expect to see is that by changing the different points and shins, whether a 50mm or a 80mm, we'll change the mixing profile. So a fence post, if you think of a fence post, if you imagine that's my fence post and that's ground level, normally the fence post rots off in that zone, and then if you dig a bit deeper you actually find the bottom of the post. That's your living zone. So it depends on each field. When you have a dig, you can decide on how far deep you want to mix it, which is quite interesting. So by changing the tooling and asking yourself what you're wanting to create in the first place, influences what you're wanting to do. Some people just want a black strip and think that's good enough, but with a top-down e-services, we're almost having the same attention to detail as you would if you went drilling. Just like we're trying to find it, we're actually looking at the soil and stuff.
So cultivation shouldn't be looked at as in just blacking it over. It's more technical.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what are we doing is, well, whether or not you have cattle or sheep on your farm, you should have livestock in your field, and that's the livestock is the worms and the bugs and the bacteria and everything. And if your strategy is to mix, you're mixing and to feed those. So if we plough it with a plough, we layer it and put it in lines. Whereas with the top down, we're mixing all in that profile, if you like, and we're feeding all the creatures in it. So actually the idea is with the top down is that we should improve our soil structure, because the more living things we have in it, the better it is for the soil health. And when we have soil health, carries a load, crops grow better, drainage is better, there's a million things of good things about it. So what's amazing about this top down is in 2023 it won a big award at Agritechnica. But we have three zones, if you like. We have the discs, the tines, the levelers, and then finally our fourth zone is the rollers. Those three zones we're set in centimetres, and normally we use our system disc at a nominal depth, roughly that. Our levelers we put into the soil to backfill the trough or the wake, like a boat going through the water, if you like, it backfills that trough. So we look at that and we look to see it's making a level finish. What we're really interested in is being able to move these tines up and down. And even though we've got a good tractor on the front, quite a big tractor, we can always find the sweet spot. So we're not putting clips in where we statically adjust it, we can always adjust it dynamically. Now whether or not you want to do that automatically with a prescription map, there's two ways of using that. One is if you have, when you turn on your task controller, this will record its working depth. So this particular field, I think you said we want to be 8 inches, don't we? Yeah. You want to maybe go for, when you go 8 inches, you might find that actually there's a different soil type up at the top. We might want to go a bit deeper, a bit shallower, or if we hit a tram line, you could go a little bit deeper if you wanted to run with the tram lines rather than going at an angle. At the headlands we might want a different setting. You do that all off the iPad on a touch of a button really. So it's really amazing. It does it over Wi-Fi, so the gateway's back here. You'll notice there's no yellow dome. The gateway's back here and it communicates with it. And that is a new Wi-Fi e-controller, what we call an ACU6, that's a new one. What's really cool about this, which is really mega, is that we've got two services on the back of your tractor. If you look here, look. You operate the top down like you would a classic. So yellow's up and down, and red is unfolding, and you've obviously unfolded it because here we are. What that means is that when we lower the machine down, when it's unfolded and doing more than 2 kilometers an hour, we then, when the tines are just above the ground, it goes into automatic onto the LS. So whatever your 4 targets are for your discs, tines, levelers in centimetres, and then the roller in percentage, it'll hit that target to what you set. When you get to the end of the field, you lift up like you would a classic machine, and that turns off the LS, and we're just lifting it on the yellow. That means we can use the headland management on the tractor, which is brilliant. So you can always find your sweet spot. If there was a particular place where there was a lot of bedrock and you want to lift it up, the machine, you can save the settings on 1, 2, 3 and 4, a bit like a radio station really, where you save your station. And you hit that, and within 3 seconds the machine could move all 4 zones within 3 seconds. It's really fast because we've got a big LS supply.
Yeah.
You could never do that if you're using a classic. And then again, we can hold those presets. When we've adjusted it and we want to go to save it, say for the headland, we might typically have the main part of the field on 1, tram lines on 2, or hard patches 3 on the headland, and the 4th one is there if you need it for something else. There is a setting on it as well, which is low lift, just like a drill really, in that you can, when you turn on the headland, you can leave the roller down a little bit, and it helps level the soil. So you don't have to have you don't have to lift it all the way up, you see. Which is really cool. Yeah, and there is a function in here that is actually spare hoses in here, that if your tractor went down and you didn't have LS, you could convert it to classic. But you probably don't need to. If you put your always have a free flow returning and put your pressure into one of your spools, really that once it's adjusted, you're always raising and lowering on the yellow. So it's quite good really. And this new Wi-Fi on the iPad has a better signal. It's a stronger signal, so we have even further range. We could maybe even get up to 200 yards.
Really?
The iPad, it's a long way.
So you could have somebody out the cab setting it up, could you?
Yeah. And what's amazing is if we operate it, walking past the machine, what I didn't tell you was that if you lower or change, for example, the tines, everything else compensates it. So your discs move.
All right.
You think they're not moving, but they are moving.
Yeah.
So it's so good because we can calibrate the valves, so it's very, very smooth. That's all controlled through the electronics. That's where she is, so she's really nearly at target, yeah? And at the moment, we can obviously, when we want to, we can either lift or lower the packer up as we want it. And we can obviously do it when we're on the move. We need to be doing 2K to do that. And that allows, and we've also got the option of a task controller on and off as well. If you're using task controller to a prescription, first of all it documents it. So if it'll document that we're at 11 centimetres. And if you change it, and also if depending on the model of tractor, if it's a later isobus, you've got hotkeys on the joystick, auxiliaries. This new ACU6 will let you do operate the auxiliaries. So you take some of the, you can, for example, alter the depth on the joystick rather than on the iPad. If we then turn off a section, it'll fully raise to the top. So if we did have a blockage or an obstacle, she lifts it up straight away. And then you then go to your preset, back again, and off you go. There's your preset. So to make a preset, what we do is we set the depth that we want these at. So we were at we want about maybe 12 or something like that. We want the discs in, I don't know, 4 or 5 centimetres. We want the levelers in, maybe put them in 2. Your packer, we can lift that up a bit and have it at say 35%. The only thing we do is save it onto that, and it's now saved. If I want to change the depth, for example, so put it down to 14, I could then save that on 2. Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Really easy to do. The thing is, no clips. Clips are gone now.
Yeah.
We don't have them anymore.
No, you don't lose them then, do you?
No, you don't. Yeah, you can do this all on tractor seat. Which is really cool, isn't it?
Impressive, yeah. look at this, it's really mixing it well, leaving a good soil finish. We'll just walk across and then we'll get to this was setting up that breed, but this is where the SLD is. Instantly, yeah, it's a lot more unlevel. Well, it's unleveler anyway, you maybe can't tell on the camera, but there's a lot more trash on top. It isn't actually mixing it so much through the profile, which them points do, as Ed explained earlier on in the video. So it's doing a cracking job really. Be able to drill straight into this. Yeah. Making a cracking job. The iPad with all the sections on. Certainly a big advancement on the SLD. Nice and level. Just trying it on a bit of pea stubble, incorporated sewage sludge. Making a bloody good job it is. Well, that's it for this week's edition of Video Diary on the Farm. As you can see, background, roads, track's wet. So yeah, no combining of wheat just yet. But they do say it's going to pick up for the weekend. So fully expect we shall be into the wheat by the weekend. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you have, like I said at the beginning, please hit that like, share and subscribe. Especially subscribe because it's free. And yeah, we'll catch you again next week.